Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Aaronica Cole, and I am your plus size sewing guru. And I talk a little bit about this, a little bit about that. And today, what we're going to be talking about is how to clean out your closet when it no longer inspires you to get dressed. Okay. So now, if you remember, last year I did a big closet clean out and I basically emptied my entire closet. And unfortunately, this year I think I'm going to have to do the same thing. Why? So I made this commitment to myself at the beginning of the year that I was going to be getting dressed every single day. And in truth, I haven't been. I mean, I've been getting dressed for the most part. Like it looks like I'm dressed right now, but I don't want you guys to be fooled. Your girl definitely has on a robe and something that I slept in, right? And it's simply because my style has changed a little bit and now I got to change some things up in order for it to be reflected in my closet. But I know that I'm not the only person who goes through this. And I know that some of my friends out there need a little bit of help. So I'm going to share my process with you for how it is that I plan on going through and eliminating things that just don't feel like they're serving me. Not Marie Kondo style. This is definitely going to be Aaronica Cole style. So, in order for you to actually have a closet that inspires you to get dressed and that you feel like speaks to your personal style, I think that the first thing that you have to do is define what your style is, right? Now, I asked on actually Facebook the other day, and I was like, ask me 20 personal questions and I'll answer them all. One of the questions that came up was, who do you think your style inspiration or who's your biggest personal style inspiration? And y'all, it took me like a couple of days to actually figure this out. And here's the thing, I don't actually have someone who I feel like is a personal style inspiration for me. Why? Because I am one of those people whose style consistently changes, right? But there are a couple of key things that come to my mind when I think about how it is that I want to dress, the things that I want to wear, and how I want to see myself when I'm looking at the mirror, okay? And so that's what you have to do first is you've got to define your personal style. For some people that looks like, oh, this person here is who my personal style inspiration is. And for some people, it's not that clear. For some of us, it's simply that I identify as being in my high school art teacher era mixed with rich auntie. In truth, the era that I'm in, right? And so, what makes me say that is because I feel like there's not a style that is out there that I really subscribe to. Like, I'm not romantic chic. I'm not um, I don't feel like I always want to wear the bodycon dresses and show off my body, but your girl loves to wear a crop top as well as bodycon dresses. I like to mix different silhouettes together and I like to mix and match different colors and different clothing patterns and stuff like that. So I feel like there is not really a word to describe what my style is, but there are a couple of words. So for me, the words that define as far as what it is that I feel most connected to when it comes time for me to getting dressed are one, comfort. Look, there's a reason why I have a sneaker collection, and it's not just because I love the way that sneakers look, okay, friends? Because while yes, I do, but also the thing is that they're super comfortable on my feet. After the pandemic, your girl was not about to be caught in like super high heels that made me feel uncomfortable as I began to walk. That was just not my thing. Not my thing now, and I don't foresee it ever being my thing again. Why? Because I like being comfortable. So that's not just with my shoes, that's also with my clothing. Now, as someone who has a plus size body, when I sit, my body does expand. So I want to make sure that my clothes support that and make me feel good as I do that. Will I lose weight before you fat shamers come for me? I may or may not. If I do, then I may not expand as much when I sit down. And if I don't, your girl still deserves to be comfortable. So, comfort is key for me. The next thing that's really important is the silhouette. I do have a favorite silhouette in mind. And I do really like to mix and match something that is super loose. So we're talking about maybe a nice loose fitting like crop top or a nice loose fitting pair of trousers or maybe a tight skirt and a loose fitting top, right? I love the way that that silhouette looks on my body. To me, that just makes me feel really beautiful as well as put together. One of the other things that I do is I really like to wear high waisted with a crop top. The reason why is because visually speaking, I like the way that the 3/4 versus 1/4 looks when it's together. Either that, or you can even divide your body up into thirds, right? So I like a way a 1/3 versus like 2/3 looks. And if you're like, Aaronica, what are you talking about? If you're into photography, right, there is a rule of thirds where you divide your space up into thirds. Like, for example, I'm kind of like on this 1/3 line, and then there's 2/3 more on this side. I like to do the same thing with my body when I decide to get dressed. In my opinion, I like the way that draws the eye to what I'm wearing, and that is a preference that I have. So when it comes time for me to get dressed, I like to be able to have a high-waisted trouser, skirt, etc., to go along with a either a crop top or a bodysuit that is going to give that effect, right? The other thing that I am now really getting into is layers. I really love the idea of having these long, dramatic layers on top of things, right? So, and I also really like the idea of not seeing all of my curves, right? And I was talking to my girlfriend Carmen when I was in New York last, and she was like, I'm really getting into like this monk chic look where it's like, does she have a body? Does she not have a body? Like, does it matter? Can you see everything? And I was like, yeah, I kind of like that, but not in the same way. Like, I'm not going to put like an oversized shirt on with like oversized pants. That is not really my aesthetic. But I love the idea, in fact, of having like an oversized duster um over, a couple of different layers, right? And I'm living for and loving the monochromatic looks. I like it because if I make a monochromatic look, right, I now have three different outfit options. I can wear it together, I can wear the bottoms with something else, or I can wear the tops with something else. And I love that that is so versatile for me, right? When you wear it together, it kind of looks like you have on like either a jumpsuit or a dress, but then boom, it's not either one of those things. And I don't know. For me, I like that sort of thing. And it's funny because it's actually my oldest daughter who got me into the monochromatic look because she would be like, Mommy, I want my tops to match my bottoms. And at the time I was like, ugh, matchy matchy could never be me. And now look at me over here, matching my tops and my bottoms. So, because now I do feel more confident in what my sense of style is looking for, as I navigate my closet, what I'm going to be doing is looking for the pieces that simply do not mix, right? So, what does that mean? I'm pulling out the things that don't fit. Let's start there, right? There is no more, oh, I'm going to save this for someday when this fits. No, if it doesn't fit now, we're just going to say goodbye. Thank you for your service. We have moved on now, right? And if I put it on, if it doesn't feel good when I sit, squat, walk, etc., and if I feel like I'm having to do too much fussing along with it, it's got to go as well. Simply has to go because I just cannot be out there doing those sorts of things. Why? Because if I'm being completely honest, that makes me feel sloppy. And even if I'm not going for the neatest, most put together look, the thing that I'm not trying to do is spend all day adjusting my clothes. It's annoying to me and it makes me feel like I'm not put together. And even if I'm mixing and matching certain things together that may be like, oh, is she eclectic? Is she not? I always want to feel like I'm put together. So that is also something that is important to me. The other thing is, if I'm being completely honest, I don't really like to wear all the colors. I have really recently found that I do love a winter white. It is my jam, right? So I'm obviously wearing winter white right now. I recently made this winter white, like little top bottom situation that I'm in love with. And I am feeling like the winter white just makes me feel very classy, very put together, very adult, very like I got my stuff together, even if I might not have it together. But you know what colors I don't really wear? Purple, blue, even though blue is my favorite color. So I generally speaking do not like to wear a whole lot of blue. Like I do like a navy blue, classic. But the truth of the matter is that I'm not going to be out there wearing all of these colors. I recently got into wearing green, which I do enjoy wearing. I do actually think I look really good in purple, But I don't know, purple has just like I'm even like looking at my sneakers right now. I don't even have purple sneakers. Like my none of my sneakers even have purple in them, which I feel like also speaks volumes about what feels good to my eye, right? Um, and I'm not someone who subscribes to the notion that you should have your colors done and have, you know, does this red warm up my complexion? I don't care about any of that. I am here for the dopamine clothing, the things that make me feel good when I wear them. And that's the other thing is how do I feel when I put it on? That is a big factor on what it is that I'm wearing. The final thing is that if I haven't worn it for a year, yeah, I'm not going to wear it. I'm just simply not going to wear it. I feel like my style has changed slightly after having this mastectomy, but not enough for me to be like, oh, well, just because I didn't wear it last year as I was navigating that time doesn't mean that no, I'm probably not going to wear it. I'm just not going to wear it. So let's not play. You know what I'm saying? So if I haven't worn it for a year, we're going to say goodbye. And honestly, if I haven't worn it, um, I do have things that are in there for a year plus, and I'm a chronic rewearer. I like to rewear my things. But like we did family photos in this really beautiful pink jumpsuit, and I've never worn it again, and I likely will never wear it again. I just don't go places where I wear these things. You know what I'm saying? So letting go of those things just honestly makes the most sense for me. So that's how, as I navigate my closet, I'm going to be determining what stays versus what goes. Now, one of the things that I do feel like I have done a really great job at is keeping my closet organized. So, the truth of the matter is that I like for my things to be color coordinated because I'm an emotional dresser. I'm I'm an emotional person, right? Um, but when I walk into the closet, if I'm feeling low, I'm reaching for the brighter colors. Why? Because I want to be inspired and I really want my spirits to be lifted. And when I look at myself in the mirror or when I look down at what I'm wearing, I want to feel better. You know what I'm saying? So for me, having my closet color coordinated works. So that's how I organize things. On one side of my closet, and if you're like, girl, what do you mean one side of your closet? Definitely check out the video where I go into detail about last year when I emptied my closet out. It shows my closet. So, one side of my closet, I've got my long sleeve shirts on and like sweaters and things. The other side of my closet, I've got short sleeve shirts, which honestly, I don't know why I don't have more of, but whatever. And then straight ahead, I have all of my dresses and jumpsuits and things, which is honestly overrun, especially for someone who doesn't really wear dresses that often. And then below, underneath the short sleeve areas, is where my pants and my skirts hang. On the top shelf, I've got like lounge, and then I have some random t shirts that I don't wear. So, yeah, I got to get rid of these t shirts too. So, I do feel like my closet is actually organized in a way that one makes it easy for me to locate and pull out the things that just are not bringing me joy, right? Brands that I no longer support, clothing that I no longer want to wear. The other thing is that as you're organizing and as I'm organizing, going through the clothes that I do not want to hang up anymore, there are some that I actually would like to upcycle to become something different because I loved the fabric. I just didn't necessarily love the make, if that makes sense. The other thing that I'm going to be separating for are the things that I feel like I can put up into a closet sale. There have been a lot of people who have been like, "Oh, can I have that?" Or, "Oh, I would love for you to make me that." Like, but just take it. You know what I mean? Just a simple closet sale. And then there are just some things that I'm just ready to say goodbye to. The things that I'm ready to say goodbye to, I already have bags that I'm going to be putting those into. And let me show you exactly those bags because this is a brand that I support. They have not sponsored me, but like 4 days, if you see this and y'all are trying to sponsor a girl, hit me up, okay? But let me show you these bags. So again, they are by 4 days, and they send you these bags, and they're called take back bags. So I've got a bunch of different colors, whatever. I actually have 5 of the bags in total. And so what they do is they take the items that are inside of there and they go ahead and recycle them for you, or they resell them, whatever they do. Ultimately, they don't end up in textile waste, which is what is the most important thing for me. So, very, very excited to go ahead and go through my closet because, y'all, the next thing that we've got to do is plan the makes, right? Because I do know in my head what it is that I want to make. and more importantly, the patterns that I want to use, the fabrics that I want to use, and I have them. It's time to get making though. So if you are someone who is like, hey girl, I was also looking to empty out my closet because the beginning of the year is a really great time to do this. By all means, join me in this. Hopefully, the next time that I pop on here, I would have said it's done. And here's a link to my closet sale. In the event that doesn't happen, just say a prayer for your girl anyway. So we're going to go ahead and conclude this video. If you have not already, make sure that you've gone ahead and liked, you've commented, you've subscribed, you've turned on the bell because of course, you know, I like to live um, so that way we can keep in touch and stay friends. And go ahead and drop a comment below and let me know what it is that you ask yourself when it's time for you to go ahead and get rid of things in your closet and how you navigate that process in hopes that it helps someone else. Until next time, friends, happy sewing, or in this case, happy organizing.